Hey y'all, hey. So I was on YouTube and about to look at my analytics, and it said today's your channel's anniversary. And I was like, so I decided this was a perfect opportunity to come in and do a live just to go over my analytics together. So let's see what we've been doing over here on YouTubers. So let me present un momento, por favor. I want to share my screen here. And we're going to share the entire screen. I'm going to share my system audio. And here we go. And we're going to jump directly over. Oh, did it not do it? It did not do it. Hold on. I clicked on the wrong one. Okay, got it. And up here. I was not trying to show you guys tech in the chat. So here we go. So this is TOT Styles 2.0, which is where you'll find me, Coach TOT. I have Professor TOT up there, but we're one and the same, so it's okay. Professor TOT does more podcast technology, and Coach TOT helps you to get your life together. Hey, girl. So look right here, it says new achievement. Hooray! It's your channel's birthday. You've come so far. Just imagine where you and your community will be next year. Keep doing you. So I was like, oh, let me look at my analytics. But I decided to wait. And the fact that I posted this, and this currently has 22 views and 55.5% viewed. I like that, but we're just doing overall analytics right there. So look at this. This is over the last 28 days. I've increased my channel views by 999%. My watch time has went up. And the subscribers isn't updated yet, but you guys should know that the only reason why that's there is because this channel was lying dormant as I was continuing to lay the platform, eat the cake, drink the wine, and fuck them people podcast. I'm Coach TOT, your podcast host. But we decided as we started diving in and learning more about podcast technology that we really enjoyed it. And we already knew we had another YouTube page that was created that we kind of had started in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, and was trying to really get it going and ended up in a relationship and it went by the wayside. And then when I went to the podcast summit, I had already created another page. And I was like, oh, let's go ahead and put some stuff to work. So now Professor TOT is Tech in the City over on TOT Styles. And then we have TOT Styles 2.0, which is this page, which you'll see my friendly service animal Jay right there. And we have started posting to grow this page. So this is real time. The data is being updated live. And if you notice, this is showing I had no views because I was doing no posts. So we're just looking currently over the last 28 days. But if you want it to change, you can go right here and you can change it to the last 365, the last 7, lifetime. So let's take a look at the last 365 days. So in the last 365 days, you can see it just wasn't nothing going. It wasn't popping at all, baby. But I'm up 203% more than the previous 365 days. So it's still an increase. I lost 1 subscriber. And right here, it tells you change in subscribers compared with the previous period over time. This can help you understand what causes viewers to subscribe or unsubscribe from your channel. So when I started posting again, which you see right here was toward the end of December, the content switched a little bit because when this page was originally created, I was still in the hair industry. So by me being in the hair industry, it was mostly centered around celebrity gossip, reality TV, and hair things about hair, stuff going on at my salon, remodeling or whatever. Excuse me. But then I retired. So I really didn't have anything to post. So the page just kind of sat there. And you can see I was working my way up. I was at 73 subscribers. And back when I started this, you only needed 100 freaking subscribers to go live and to monetize. So I always felt like, had I kept doing what I was doing instead of being distracted by a fuck boy. I can say that now. He was a good fuck boy though. I probably would be where a lot of other people are at now. So now I'm stepping back into it. So you can see my watch time. Right here, it's 142% more. And then if I wanted to see more, I can click in here and it'll give me even more data. So this lets me know back over in here. So we can see all of my action really happened in here starting in December. So I'm going to change this back to the last 28 days. And I would recommend you to do this for your channel as well, because the analytics is what you want to pay attention to know if you're headed in the right direction. So as you can see, really good. And then we had the legend. The blue is when I posted manifesting magic, align with your dreams. The one that's really peaked is fearless living and self-discovery, which is here. And then we have the green, which was breaking boundaries, trauma, misogyny, and something else. Here is where I talked about the Burning Bed movie. And this one, manifesting and aligning your dreams. Oh no, it's this one, the red. So this one hasn't got a lot of traction, which is Rebels with the Cause, TOT's Guide. So I'm feeling like on this particular one, I believe that it's the thumbnail. But then just digging down a little bit more, it's showing me here my views. So you'll see that same color coding. Oh, let me go back. Here we go. That same color coding that's up here is down here as well. So it's showing me that right now, these are the top performers as far as views go. This one is performing very well, in my opinion, because it's at 38.5% of my total of 174 views. And what's actually doing the worst is this one that's 1.7% with 3 views. Because this thumbnail, number one, I used Taja AI, and my thumbnail kept saying I was a guy. And I'm like, I'm a girl, Damon, I'm a girl, but I couldn't fix it. So that's still there. So I'm probably going to go back in here and redo my thumbnail. And then when you look over here at the watch time, so as I look through my watch time, I see my highest watch time is up here at 25%, which is manifesting magic aligned with your dreams. But my views for that is only 11.5%. So my highest views is down here on fearless living. However, when I look at my watch time, only 15.7% of my watch time is contributed to that. So my highest watch time is actually on this one, which could potentially mean if I was to go in and change the thumbnail on this, that I can increase the watch time that I'm receiving. Because generally when people are scrolling through TikTok, it's the thumbnail that gets their attention. They're going to get the attention with the thumbnail. Then they're going to look at the title to see, is it something I want to watch? And then they'll dig down into the description, or they'll click and start watching it. It's a lot of times where I'll see a title or a thumbnail and I'm like, yeah, I ain't interested in that. So I'm using a program that's called, I want to say it's called InVideo. I might be wrong, but it actually helps you analyze and gives you a true action plan to improve your YouTube. So it'll tell me, hey, based on your impressions and your watch time, we think that the issue with this particular one is the thumbnail that you're using. And this thumbnail that's on this video, which I'll open it up, this thumbnail I created with Taja AI.
But I'm glad I can say
we
came over our
the actual video.
How it was, and it took us I want to say probably a decade before we even.
So I want to go in and update that, but going back over here to this, I know that for that one, I need to do some updates. So then going forward, Out of all of these views and subscribers, views and watch time, I don't have any subscribers that are subscribing. But then you have my impressions. So when you look at that, the top impressions is coming from the burning bed. And then when you look at the impressions click-through rate, that is actually coming from the highest percentage is coming from Echoes of Ancestry. Oh, no, Mean Sister. This is an old one, but okay. But if you look at it, we had 1 view and 2 impressions. So that's 50%. So I'm going to take that one out of the equation. So we're going to use this one as 25%. So now if you want to dig a little bit deeper, and this lists all of my videos and everything. So I can see, okay, none of these videos are getting me subscribers, but because we're still in the past 28 days and we've been dormant, they're probably looking to see, okay, is she going to be consistent? Is she going to really show up? Is she really going to give us the content that we're looking for? Because they're showing up with the views, they're showing up with the impressions, they're showing up with the click-through rate, and they're showing up with the watch time. So I just need to be consistent. So now what I want to do is identify, well, where is my traffic source coming from? So I'm going to go right here. So it gives me my watch time by traffic source. And right here, you can see it's coming from channel pages. It's 20.7%. But again, most of my traffic is coming from shorts and feeds. 49, close to 50% of my views are coming from shorts feed, which tells me I need to upload more shorts to YouTube. So if you don't necessarily see me so much on the other platforms, that's because I'm over here. Come on and subscribe and help your girl out a little bit. Okay. I love you. Thank you much. Then when we look at our watch time, the highest watch time is coming from channel pages. So the page is getting the highest watch time, but the feed, the shorts feed, is getting the most views because both of those are taken into account. So then when I look at my average view duration, it's 33 seconds, which I think is good, because they say usually you have 3 seconds to capture someone's attention when you're dealing with social media. So when we look at these, and I'm focusing mostly on the ones that are over here that have the color, I'm looking at those. All of these are pretty good. This one, they watched 5 minutes and 37 seconds. Okay, and this says external. So that says traffic from websites and apps that embed your videos or link to your videos on your YouTube. So that could have come from one of my other social media platforms, or someone else shared it or something like that. But that's good because I have 5 minutes and 37 seconds coming from there, which tells me I need to continue sharing the YouTube link and not trying to reshare the same video on a different platform original to that platform, but take the actual YouTube link, and that's what you're sharing out to the other platforms. Therefore, when that platform views it, it counts towards your views on YouTube, which you want to do in order to drive traffic, engage your audience, and hope and pray, no, and manifest them to subscribe, because y'all gonna subscribe. Yep, I said it. Okay, we ain't hoping and praying over here. We manifest that shit, sis. Ooh, ooh. Then when I look at the impression click-through rate, the highest number is actually coming from my playlist. So I have a lot of playlists, and I used to have all of my playlists private. But then I learned that you can use other people's videos to capture an audience's attention. So I said, oh, well, let me make my playlist public. So now almost all of my playlists are public, so you guys can kind of see the type of stuff that I actually use to feed my soul and my spirit, my frequency music, the sermons I listen to, all of those different things. They're over on here, and they're also on Tech in the City, which is TOT Styles. This is TOT Styles 2.0. I'm TOT Styles on all social media platforms, but this particular one is TOT Styles 2.0. So this tells me that. Now we're going to take a look at geography. And it's giving me my watch time. This is 0.12% from the United States. United States. All of this watch time is coming from the United States. Most of it, not all of it. So right here it's telling me 43.7% of my views are coming from the US. And then 22.9% of my watch time is coming from the US. And my average view duration is 17 seconds in the United States. But notice the numbers, and I'm not at 100%. So they're coming from somewhere else. So the question is, well, where are they coming from, darling? So we're going to click over here on cities, and notice this is the last 28 days, but we were pretty flat until about right before Christmas. Because that's when I really started posting and engaging, because we closed out the season of Tech in the City. So I started posting and engaging with the audience over here because I need to revive this. So now I was using StreamYard, and I was able to go live on 9 different platforms at the same time. When I tell you I'm doing this thing. Hey, I've been doing this a long time, and I'm really just now coming to the forefront. But I've been behind the scenes of technology since I started learning technology in high school. And I'm over a half century old. Okay. So right here, we have the cities. So it'll tell me the cities, and it's giving me my my views, my watch time, and my average view duration. But it's not really giving me a breakdown. And because everything is still new, you need time for YouTube to continue to gather data to give you the analytics. So when you first start a YouTube channel, you're going to see that your analytics, they really aren't going to tell you much. Sometimes they're going to be blank, but it'll say that it's still gathering data. So let's look at viewer age. So this is how I can determine, and see, this hasn't populated yet. It lets me know what audience am I actually reaching. So this is letting me know these are the ages that I'm actually reaching based on these color codes. But I don't have anything for views, average view, nothing is in these boxes, which tells me that YouTube is still gathering data, and it says it right here, not enough demographic data to show this report. When we look at gender, it's the same thing. It's not enough demographic data. And then when you look at the dates, you can see that there's information that's been filled in based on views, watch time, and average duration. So if I wanted to look and see whatever I posted on December 31st, it received a lot of engagement as far as views. And then watch time was 15.7%. So when I look through this at watch time, whatever I posted on December 23rd, that actually captured 19% of the watch time. And then if I wanted to look at average view duration, I can look and say this 2 minutes and 21 seconds on December 19th is something that engaged. So those, I would want to go and look at those videos to see, do I need to redo the title? Do I need to update the description? Do I need to redo the thumbnail to try to select something more engaging? And Taja AI does a really good job when you take your YouTube video, when you plug it in, it gives you the description. And I'm kind of, because I was listening to Nikki today, and I was like, I kind of feel the same way. I'm never really satisfied with the descriptions that come out of Taja AI or Chat GPT. And I had already had this conversation with myself, yet I still keep saying, AI, come on, stop letting me down. But the question that I'm supposed to be putting to myself is, what question am I answering? And based on the question I feel the content is going to answer, that's what I need to name the video. And I kind of recall watching a morning meetup or social proof podcast where David Shantz had mentioned that. What question are you asking? So he was going through something, and he was like, well, if somebody was looking for this, what would they go on here and ask? And it was like, how to do blah, 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 blah. And that's what he ended up making it. And because usually when people type in, they're trying to solve for a problem. They're trying to find something. So like today I was trying to figure out, gosh, I have 108 line items on this Excel, but I need to put 4 lines between each one, 4 rows. Okay, 108 rows. I needed 4 rows between each of the data cells that I had already created. So I was trying to figure out a shortcut because I was like, I don't want to like highlight, insert 4 rows, highlight. That was going to take forever. So I went first on Google to search, and Google pulled up something and I tried to read and I said, yeah, this isn't it. And then I was like, oh, let me go to YouTube. So when I went to YouTube and I put it in, it gave me one video. So I'm watching that video and I'm like, okay, this is trash because it's not really working at how he's saying it's supposed to work. So I go to this other video. I get a really good piece of key information from that one video. I said, okay, I'm going to do this. And then I'm like, wait a minute, but I got to do this also. So then I'm like, okay, let me go look at another video. So between the 2 videos, I was able to come up with a process that I was able to do what I needed to do in definitely less than 5 minutes. So basically, because you guys are probably saying, well, Natasha, what did you do? What did you do? And that's my real name, Professor TOT, Coach TOT, Natasha, Tasha TOT. Baby, I got a whole lot of names. Anywho, you take, matter of fact, I'm gonna post a tutorial, but you take and highlight, not even highlight. So the first guy was saying highlight and then you do an insert. That didn't work at all. But then one video had spoke on doing sequencing. And I said, oh, okay. So I did sequencing with the 108. So each column had data in it for 108 rows. So the sequence went from sequence number 1 all the way to sequence number 108. Then I knew what I needed to add. I needed to add 4 rows between that. So I just copied the 1 through 108. I copied that 3 times. So that gave me a total of 4 rows that I needed in total. No, I'm sorry. I copied it 4 times because I needed a total of 5 rows. Then I went and sorted. And I sorted by the sequence number. So it ended up putting all the number 1s together. But because only the first line that started with the 1 had the data that was already in there, it inserted the other 3 rows that were blank. And then that allowed me to finish going in and doing what I needed to finish doing. But then I was like, oh, that's going to be too long. So then I had to use my critical thinking, because you have to understand when you start wanting to understand your analytics, what's working, what's not working, you have to use some critical thinking as well. For example, when I first started my digital marketing course, we had to go in and create this website, but then we had to analyze the analytics to identify what was working, what wasn't working. So I noticed out of all the products that were on my page, I kept getting a lot of traffic being drawn to this one particular product, and the time they spent on that product was a lot of time, but it seemed nobody ever put the product in their basket. So I'm like, okay, maybe the basket buy function is messed up. But then I kind of learned some more information about statistics, and I've never went back and followed up in correcting that website piece because I was just working on too many things at one time. And I'm like, but that can wait, because once the website start going, I then need to work in more time to actually package the orders and ship the orders. So I'm like, okay, that can pause right now until I get all of this other stuff on the other social media platforms together. So looking at this, it tells me a lot about what am I posting that's actually getting traction versus what's low. So I need to go and look at the content to see, okay, does this content align with where you're going with your strategy? Because we have the 2024 strategic podcast planner. Got right here. Yep. And I have been working out of this as I've been strategizing and budgeting and all of that for the month of January. And I'm like, okay, because now I know which direction I'm going for the next 30 days, because I believe in 30 days to impact, which will be a life coaching program that I will be rolling out around spring of this year. You know, right in time before y'all get real ratchet when it's warm outside. And I'm like, I'm gonna need y'all to get some decorum before we go back outside, because the ancestors are calling us to get it together, to understand that we came from a lineage of kings and queens. We came from luxury. We came from abundance. And I wish I recalled the lady's name because I don't, but she had made the statement. She said, "Do you not know where you come from? You come from kings and queens. Have some decorum about yourself." And when I read it, when I read it, I watched it on TikTok. I knew she was talking to us in the United States. I knew she was. But that's what we're talking about on this page, where we are reading To Be a Slave, which is a puffin modern classic by Julius Lester. And these are actual documented statements from those that survived slavery. So I am planning a trip to the Library of Congress because now I am totally invested and I want to learn more. I want to know more, but I want to be able to read exactly what they said, not what was rewritten after they had already spoken. Because based on what I read in here, they actually tried to write in the same dialect that the now free slaves were speaking in. And then once they had that done, they took it and rewrote it to write it in proper English, so to speak. So I'm sure a lot of things probably got lost during translation. Apparently, there are some items that they decided not to document at all. And this is kind of what Julius Lester did. They went into the Library of Congress and they did a lot of studying. And now I am planning a trip to do the same thing. But this book is currently my guide. That way, by the time I get there to do my research, I already have more knowledge than I was ever given in school when we're talking about middle school, elementary school, high school, and collegiate studies. Okay, because I went to several colleges and I got a couple degrees, but none of them really told me truly the depth that I needed to understand as much as I've learned in the last 2 days that I've been reading this book. So I want to invite you to subscribe and join me on the journey as we continue to really dive in and understand and connect with our ancestors to understand what it was like for them to be a slave. So then we're going to go to subscription status. So subscription status, we have not subscribed and subscribed. So currently people have looked at the subscription option. I have 5 views. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm lying. People that have viewed, I've had 174 views. And if you guys watch that video and it says, hey, about extra, whatever percent of you are watching this and not subscribe if you feel we're doing value. So this is where those numbers come from under subscription status. So based on the analytics that I'm looking at now, there's 97.1% of you that are finding value within this content. If you feel you are finding value and you are watching the content, if you could please subscribe, that helps YouTube know that we are creating content of value to a community, and they will start to push that content out to more people that they feel are in need of that content. And we don't want to do this for nothing. And we definitely want it to get into the right hands of those that can use it and that are looking for it. So thank you for subscribing. Go ahead and click it now and hit the little bell so you can get the reminders when we're live or when we upload new content. So then I want to look at my subscription source. And when I look at it, 0, child, it says 0. If y'all can please help get those numbers up, it's greatly appreciated. So go ahead and click subscribe. And then it gives you, if I want to look at my content type, my playlist, device type, YouTube product, playback location. If I want to look at any of this stuff, let's look at playback location. Playback location. So you can see when I look here, 54% of my views are coming from the shorts feed. That tells me you need to be uploading more shorts, ma'am. But closely behind that is 26.4% from YouTube watch page, which means I need to be sure that I'm uploading the content so it can get to where it needs to be. 12.6% is coming from browse features and 6.9% is coming from the YouTube channel. So overall, I think those are really great stats, and I'm not going to hold y'all long. Let's look at lifetime, and I just want to do the content overview. you look right here, the lifetime, because it said it's my birthday today. It's my channel's birthday. Right here, October 2014. That's when I started this channel. And I had a peak in here, and then we kind of we didn't go completely flat, but there were no more peaks as the one that I had started here, which is January 27th, 2015. And it tells you type of stuff I was posting. I posted about Real Housewives of Atlanta cast in Puerto Rico. I posted about the Plexus 3-day challenge and what comes in the box. And when I tell you, I still stand by that product. I had made spaghetti squash shrimp Alfredo. Oh my God, it was so good. I still remember that. I did a custom closure extension with a shortcut, and then my blessings, salon renovations, glam couture hair. No views on that, but I did get, looks like it was a little traction on this custom because it was a hair channel, so it made sense. So if you look here, not much was going on. And then if we just look over the last 7 days, you see the peak was right here. And 58 people, TOT styles, fearless living, and self-discovery. And then when I did my Happy New Year message is where most of that came from in here. And then if I wanted to look, I have a total of 114 views, but 58.8% of those views came from TOT's fearless living and self-discovery. Eat the cake, drink the wine, and fuck them people podcast. I'm Coach TOT, your podcast host. I kind of feel like that's how I'm gonna do my intro for that. I still don't really know. When I look at my watch time, even for that particular one, the watch time was the highest at 42.2%. Still no subscribers. The subscription number has not went up since I started back. So when I left the channel, I was at 73 subscribers, and I'm still at 73 subscribers. And I think, oh, 73 of my subscribers, I love y'all. And then if I look at my impressions, I have 60 impressions on Happy New Year, which is the highest number. And then if I look at my impressions click-through rates, communication is key is 100%. I actually looked at that today and I forgot I had that. So I'm actually going to repurpose this because a lot of people focus on communication, but they forget about interpretation. Interpretation is part of communication. So you can't just always say, oh, they have a communication problem. Is it that they have a communication problem? Or is it that you have an interpretation problem and you lack the courage to ask the clarifying, probing questions that's needed in order for the communication and interpretation to be successful? That's your takeaway ask right here. Stop saying that. Communicate that. No, are you interpreting? Because if someone is communicating with you and you are not interpreting and you are an adult, you should have enough emotional intelligence to say, hold on, I want to be sure I'm hearing you correctly. Because when you say this, what I'm hearing is that what you're saying? And then respond from that perspective versus thinking what you interpreted is what that person was actually saying, because you can be loud and wrong at the same damn time. Okay. So let's just take a brief look because I know what this is. This is my intro. For I love it. I love it. And I created that with AI. Those were all AI creations by me. I created that whole video by myself. I'm proud of me. So I want to say thank you all for joining the live. Please be sure to subscribe. If you have any questions, please ask me questions because I want to be a help source for you as you look for information to maneuver through this thing that we call life. And if you want to start a podcast to help you maneuver your way through all of this podcast technology to find out what works, what doesn't work, and how do you actually work it? Because over on Tech in the City, go over there and subscribe. That is where, oh, actually, I'm so sorry. I'm on Tech in the City because this is where I want to show you the analytics. Duh. So I was showing you the analytics for the other channel. So What you're seeing right now, the reason it looks like this is because I kind of put it back on my main screen, my StreamYard. If I move my StreamYard over to the other screen, you only see this right here. But when I move it back to this screen, you see all three of these. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. And tomorrow, if you want to start following TOT Styles 2.0, which is where I'm doing the book club reading of To Be a Slave. When I tell you it's really good. And I'm not just reading the book, I'm actually reading the book and giving my commentary. My hopes is to get a lot of engagement around this, because I do feel that everyone should read this book to get a true understanding. So we don't have the whitewashing or anything that people will say, oh, well, they want to get rid of what actually happened. When you think about the Holocaust, which is what happened to the Jewish community, they said never again. But guess what? I do believe the African-American community has been saying never again for so long, but it keeps happening again and again and again and again. And we just need more people to support humanity across all races, across all nationalities, across all sexual preferences, across everything. A human is a human, and we are all created equal by the one and only true living God. So thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Have an awesome day, and I will see you guys later.